Welcome to The Lesson Plan, the podcast where we dive deep into academics and instruction in DPS. I'm your host, Communications and Community Engagement Manager, Nicole Brady. And my guests today are Dr. Samantha Haviland, Executive Director of Career and College Success for DPS.
Hello.
Hello, thank you. And Scott Burke, the Director of Higher Education Academics in DPS.
Good to see you, Nicole.
This is our final Lesson Plan podcast of this school year, right at graduation season as kids start to go off to college, careers. I know you've both been in work in DPS for a long time, so I'd love if you'd just give me a quick bio on yourselves to start us off here, Sam.
Sure. So I'm a licensed school counselor by trade, was last a school counselor in Terra Vista with the middle school back in 2012, and then have been working central office since in the Career and College Success team in various versions, supporting school counselors, and now as the executive director, I just love the work that we get to do. It's so hopeful and future focused, and our students are the best. So
yeah, they are. Scott?
I've been in DPS for 16 years now. Started in DPS as a math teacher and did 7 years of math instruction in the Pathways Network. So started there, loved that work, and then moved into administration. So I was an assistant principal at Abraham Lincoln High School for an additional 7 years. So spent most of my career down in Southwest Denver. In that assistant principal role, I was the CTE pathway director and got to oversee a lot of the programs that Sam and I work with. And then just made the move 2 years ago to this current role. And I've been with the Career and College Success team for 2 years.
Yeah, well, you've been seeing the high school side of it for a long time, and the reason why this is so important, why the work you do now is so important. So, I want to start off by saying that throughout the year on this podcast, we've really tried to focus on what happens in the classroom, in academics, not just the subjects students learn, but the substance. And your team really is about finding the purpose behind school to prepare students for life. Is that right?
That is right. And, we uniquely, I would say, compared to our peers, really start that in elementary. It's a K-12 and post-secondary kind of pathway for students where in elementary, we try to help them explore and just discover and maybe create a little bit of their values when it comes to career. And in middle school, it's a little bit of exposure. Here are all of the different careers that exist. Here is what a college class might look like or a career class. What high schools do you want to maybe go to that are aligned with your passions? And then in high school, it's very intensive in the opportunities between advising, exploring colleges, learning how to pay for it, all of the college classes that students can take, all of the career and technical education and high growth, high wage, plus career mentors and internship opportunities that are stipended. So the work itself is really intended to help a student find their purpose and their purpose in their learning. And we see that when students find purpose in their learning and they're excited about it and they see their future in it, their likelihood of graduating is significantly higher.
So in terms of what students are actually participating in schools, something we often hear in DPS is the big three. Can you tell us what those are?
Yes. So the big three have been a value of Denver Public Schools for a long time, and the state is catching up. So the big three in DPS is earning 12 college credits, because we know free college credit starts a student down a path where they see themselves in college, they understand that they're capable of it, and they get the benefit of us paying the bill. Or earning an industry certification that is in a family-sustaining career path within the Denver metro area. So that should they want to just graduate and be done and not go to college, they have the credential already that lets them in that entry-level job. Or the third one is a really deep work-based learning experience where they find belonging and purpose and build social capital and get real-world workforce experience.
And we're going to talk more about work-based learning experiences. But I like your point about DPS has this goal, and I think this is becoming a big goal in other districts as well, of students leaving with not just a high school diploma, but some other credential or at least some college. Scott, take us through what students in DPS currently can leave high school with.
Yeah, so it is an ambitious goal, and it's that statewide goal that 100% of graduates would have at least one of the big three. So really ensuring that kids walk away with from high school with something tangible, meaningful that sets them up for success. So it's not just about getting to the graduation stage, but moving beyond that for post-secondary. And now the work of the Big Three and the work of the Career and College Success team, there's so many concrete tangibles that kids can leave high school with. So like Sam said, they can walk away with that industry certification aligned to the courses that they were taking in a CTE pathway. Work-based learning experiences, those can range anywhere from a one-day job shadow all the way up to a 3-year apprenticeship that's paid. And those industry connections and the relationships you build really set a student up for success. And then my house, the career and the college credits. The goal is to have 12 college credits in pocket for those students where that's their pathway. And so really what we're seeing is a diverse range for kids to find the pathway that's most meaningful to them, but have a concrete outcome by the time that they leave high school.
Let's stick with higher education academics for a minute and that college prep focus. What types of college level courses do students have access to in DPS?
Great question. There's a whole array of ways for kids to earn college credits, and each high school is unique in what they offer. And it depends on their student population, their staffing model, their size. But the different modes for kids to earn college credit. So we have your traditional routes of advanced placement, AP, and international baccalaureate, where kids can take a course and then pass a test to earn the college credit after earning a qualifying score on the test. But then we also have concurrent and dual enrollment. So those are courses that kids are actually taking, our students take either in the high school or they get to go to the college campus. So by passing that course with a C or better, they're walking away with both high school and college credit.
Wow.
And we have students earning anywhere from taking just one class in their high school career all the way up to earning associate's degrees by the time they graduate, which is just incredible. And so those opportunities across the district through coursework are one way, but then a lot of our students have a lot more restricted schedules. And so think of our multilingual learners.
Sure.
They may have language support classes, ELD classes that they have to take. Their schedules might be really tight, especially if they're new to country. So we also have opportunities like CLEP testing, where a student can sit for a one-time exam and earn up to 16 college credits by the completion of a single exam by demonstrating their native language proficiency. So we really try to cater our college level experiences to where the students at, what's meaningful to them, and dependent on what they want to do after high school.
And a lot of the students take their math and their English and they accelerate then in their graduation requirements. But many of them also find very passion-led courses. So some of our courses that students are most likely to pass are things in their career path that are chosen, or an ethnic studies course. Those are very popular with our students.
I like that point. It's not just like AP math or calculus or something like that, or physics. It's and I remember taking, AP English and things like that. But there are other types of maybe not the traditional academic classes.
Yeah, there's a great class over at Bruce Randolph in horticulture where the students are taking through Colorado State University. A whole horticulture with an hands-on lab. That the students have really loved.
Awesome. And getting college credit for it. As a parent of 2 kids listening to this, I pay close attention because I want my kids to pass a certain amount of college and save me hopefully some money or themselves as some money someday. This is adding up to real dollars for DPS families. Is that right?
A lot of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've seen incredible growth, especially over the past few years, in students completing these coursework. And it's a combination of AP, IB, of concurrent enrollment, of CLEP. When we see that compiled, this year alone, we're seeing a record number of associate's degrees. So we actually have 133 associate's degrees, which is a massive celebration across our high schools being earned. We had a total of 22,000 courses completed in a single year last year. And when you...
College level courses.
Courses. Eligible for credit. And when you look at those experiences and you total and project the tuition savings that could be, that was, we estimate that's around $22 million saved for Denver families.
In just one academic year. Yeah. So over 4 years, you could save a family so much money by doing it.
Excellent. You mentioned the associate's degree. So an associate's degree, if some people aren't aware, that's 2 years of college. And this could be stackable toward a 4-year degree, or it could roll into a career right then. Is that right?
Absolutely. So we prioritize coursework that is transferable, that is stackable. And so when we coordinate the courses that we want to offer around the district, we ensure that there are 2 associate's degrees or 2-year degrees that can transfer, or to a certificate program that students can build on.
Some students may take a credential they earn and decide to go get a job right after graduation. They may decide to continue their education down the road. But either way, another priority for DPS is to help students identify these careers early on so that they do start working toward that on a pathway. Can we talk about the ways DPS provides opportunities for that?
Yeah. Again, in elementary, we have been focusing so much on helping a student identify what their interests might be. Do I like helping people? Do I like doing concrete things with my hands? How do I want to spend my day? How do I want to contribute? What problems do I want to solve? And then in middle school, we get a little more real and students get some more kind of hands-on. And then the high school, it's really the career mentorships, which if anybody's looking for a volunteer gig, please reach out. Because it's professionals creating relationships with students in a space where the students can ask about their profession and also learn what it means to be a professional, gaining those soft skills. And then students in internships and apprenticeships, like there is a human who is on our team who will remain nameless at the moment, but he started with us as an intern in a computer science background. And we hired him as an apprentice and got him a certificate in Salesforce. And then after his 3 years of apprenticeship, we hired him as an employee, and that is the Salesforce administrator for the district. While he also has been able to take college credits and things. So he's earning a wage with us and has developed his identity. And we are very lucky to have him on our team because we desperately needed those skills.
Yeah. So that's an apprenticeship that led directly to a job with DPS. And the apprenticeships are paid.
The apprenticeships are paid. The internships are stipended.
So students can also start pursuing career pathways, and DPS is looking to expand this in a big way. Right now, a lot of people know about CEC, Career Education Center, where students might be taking an architecture pathway or a medical pathway of some sort. But with the help of the 2024 bond, Sam, can you talk about what's in the works right now?
Yes. CEC's model is that a student can be a part-time student at their home school, still go get the original experience in their course and go to prom and all of that. And then part-time, they say in the afternoons, go to CEC and have selected a program that they want to earn an industry credential in, whether that is the exact industry certification they want or it leads or stacks into where their future career is. So the bond is allowing us to duplicate. So we will have actually 4 regional centers across the district, which really eliminates a lot of the barriers that students have been experiencing in accessing these cool programs at CEC. So the first one starts or opens August of 2027. We're in the middle of construction and planning. It'll start with 5 programs, but these 5 programs, when listeners think about CTE, Career and Tech Ed, from their maybe high school days or my high school days, you think things like wood shop or very technical trades. And it is that. And it is also, we're starting our first aviation pilot program where students will learn how to fly planes. Got an aviation mechanics, which these careers in the far Northeast are particularly important as
the airport is right there.
The airport is right there. So that is the industry that they can stay in their neighborhoods and with their families, but make a livable wage as soon as possible. And all pathways have college credit aligned to them. So we're helping them to start their degree should they want to go beyond the industry certification and continue. Then they have a little bit of both. So it's very exciting. At full build, there will be 4 sites with 35 different programs serving a couple thousand students a year.
And transportation from their homeschool provided.
Transportation from homeschool provided. The instructors are all industry experienced. So the aviation pilot will be a pilot who has flown, which means that students are learning from the experts themselves. The curriculum is tied to the industry. The equipment students will be learning on is the equipment from the industry. Should they graduate and enter that field, that is what they would be using. So it's very exciting.
I want to stay on this for a minute and talk about how you guys partner with industry. Scott, you were a CTE pathway director. Mm-hmm. Can you give some additional insight on how the learning tied to industry, how that has changed? Because like Sam said, vocational tech schools have been around for a long time, but you really have to pay attention to what the jobs of the future are right
Absolutely.
now.
Yeah. Like Sam said, the landscape has changed in what that looks like. And it's no longer college or career. And I know that's how it was when I grew up.
Yes.
It is so blended now where students have so much choice depending on what they want to do. And so you have that integration of CTE pathways and of college coursework. And it really does. Our schools are designing for specific industries. So in my experience, when I was at Abraham Lincoln High School, we opened what was called the P-Tech Academy, and there was a business academy, and it was done in partnership with industry partners like Pinnacle Assurance, which is a workman's comp organization, and also with Microsoft. And so students were able to go into a business pathway, have an additional 2 years to earn college credit to get their full 2-year degree paid for. But their entire experience was aligned working with these industry partners. And so when you look at our hubs that we're designing around the city, they're very much a similar design that are intended to offer both college credit and the integrated industry experience. And that's the work that it really is the integration of work-based learning, of CTE, of college-based learning, that all those can come together to make a really comprehensive experience for students.
Sam, you started to touch on some of the additional ways that DPS supports students in their career exploration, whether it's a mentorship, an apprenticeship. I actually participated in the coach mentorship program this year. It was amazing. I really enjoyed my mentee. We had a lot of interests in the arts. And so I tried to help her navigate, how do you make a living as an artist someday, if that's what you want to do? These are all really great touch points for students, just to have someone there to sort of bounce ideas off of.
Yes. Yeah. Essentially, we're helping the student create and expand their community, right? Mm-hmm. We want students to leave saying, I know where I'm going, and I know how to get there, and I know who will help me to get there. And it's not just my high school teacher, right? Mm-hmm. So as a community, we're aiming to build our future community members.
Absolutely. You guys work a lot with the city of Denver, I know. Some major partners out there.
Yes, we have great partnership with the city of Denver. Very grateful for their partnership. And then we've been engaging other businesses because our aim is to have one anchor sponsor per CTE hub program that will advise us, make sure that we're teaching the right skills, come in and maybe talk to the students, potentially help us purchase the state-of-the-art equipment that they would use in their training centers. And we get a lot of really great feedback where, again, my background is school counseling. I'm not the expert in energy and solar.
Right.
So really need some help in learning how to do that best. So the community is really important.
We're coming up on summer break here, and hundreds of DPS students will be participating in work experiences. The summer job when I was a kid, you go retail, restaurant, typical stuff. A lot of kids in DPS are participating in more intentional things, like you mentioned, your own intern and apprentice that you ended up hiring. Talk about some of those opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, we have summer school traditionally, and we do offer some concurrent enrollment summer school for students who can't fit it into their schedules or it's not offered at their school. But we've got the Denver Youth Employment Program, where Denver employers, with the partnership with the city, help to hire our students. And then we also do internships and career academies. So groups of students who are working with an organization. As an example, we've got a solar program through Women Who Charge. And the students learn all about solar, and they learn how to fix solar panels and install, and what's the science behind them and all of that. We've got some medical ones, some aerospace, and the students end up with a certification at the end of that. So it's full day, couple of weeks engaging in industry-sponsored projects, essentially.
That's amazing. And it sounds like a very valuable way to spend several weeks in the summer. and just working more intentionally towards something as opposed to, not that a restaurant is a bad job. It's, you learn stuff there too.
Yeah, I served ice cream when I was in high school. These opportunities are also stipended, and it's intended to be at minimum wage level.
Wow.
So that a student doesn't have to choose between their part-time fast food job or this kind of experience that really speaks to them in their future. They can do both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier I wanted to highlight a few success stories. And Scott, I know that we have some incredible numbers this year in terms of students who are graduating now in the next week or so with much more than a high school diploma.
Yeah, we're in the graduation season. In fact, yesterday we just had students actually walk in their college graduation before they even got to walk in their high school graduation. So
wow.
We had graduates at CCD and CCA are our two biggest partners for concurrent enrollment. But we had 4 high schools especially that had higher numbers than usual. So Lincoln High School had 10 associate's degrees, and that was part of their P-Tech program.
Wow.
CEC, their design really is the blend of CTE and college. They have 26 associate's degrees coming out.
Wow.
Bellow this year upped their numbers to 32 associate's degrees. And then Northeast Early College is our biggest producer. They have 43 associate's degrees in a single year. That's 35% of their graduating class. So just an incredible, when you think of kids doing both of those, and especially when you think of not only the financial savings, but the time savings towards degree, that's 2 years further that they get to jump into a 4-year degree and then potentially get to jump into the career right after that if they're going to a 4-year to help support them, their families. So just some incredible outcomes for our families.
I think it speaks to what we can expect from students versus maybe what we traditionally have expected in K-12 education of a high school student is not college ready yet. They're not capable yet.
Yeah.
And then what we see is like actually students rise to the occasion and they blow us all away. And it makes my one AP class from high school look pathetic, right? Like, I was good. It was a great class. Thank you, Miss Sampson.
No, I mean, but I think of the same thing. I took a few AP courses. I got some college credits from those tests, but I certainly didn't think of myself as really having had a college experience at all, or really had a touch point to that. By the time I got to college, it still took 4 years to get through all that. And even though some of college are those basic classes that you definitely could have probably passed in high school, and that's how it's always been. And now it seems like we're finally realizing that students can do both.
Yeah, I think the concrete outcomes that students and the potential that they see early on, and this is very much, schools are strategizing for this now, and they realize the potential for their students. And it's not only outcomes, but I think another piece is that access is really being expanded across the city. And so every high school is different, but that's the big intention behind the hubs. You know, just having one center wasn't enough because not every student around the city can get to that.
Yeah.
So by having these expanded hubs, there's more access. In the concurrent enrollment space, we're really working to have expanded access. So we have initiatives like our EdConnect program. If students want to be educators, they can take online courses and then even qualify for a free year of college. This is the last year of that program, unfortunately.
But then they can come work with us.
But yeah, set themselves up to come back and work for the district after taking these courses that are foundational to being an educator. Or we have programs like our Denver Online program where any student citywide, if their high school doesn't offer the course, they can actually enroll in one of these courses through Denver Online and take a college course asynchronously. Nice. And that's to create access, because not every school is able to offer everything to everyone.
Sure.
And that's something that's really important to our team, is making sure that every student does have a touch point and does have a way to plug into these opportunities.
And another emphasis and call out is to all of our partners and district leadership for believing in this, right? And thinking more creatively and innovatively than ever before, and more than a lot of our peer districts. Our higher ed partners are sitting at the table talking with us about solutions to create. Our district leadership is helping us to highlight that the needs and the importance of this work with our community partners and our parents. So just really a shout out to all of the people who are engaging in this work.
Yeah. Well, as we close the discussion out, 23 isn't that far off. That's when the final
hub will
be
open.
completed.
That's right.
Along the way, college and our career and college success has some big goals. So let's talk a little bit about just kind of looking forward, Sam, what you're excited for in the next 5 years.
With the Big Three, we have gone out and talked with every high school leader about the Big Three and the vision behind us, and the enthusiasm from building leaders, and their want to get creative and to build opportunities is amazing, so exciting. Our goal as a district is that by 2030, 100% of students who graduate from Denver Public Schools have had at least one of the three. If the state gives us more money, I'd love for 100% to have more than one.
Yes.
But we will start at 2030 with 100% of graduates.
And Scott, what do you think about looking ahead 5 years?
I'm really excited, and I'm especially excited that we're not starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Like, we have such an amazing foundation in Denver, and our students are really fortunate. We're already in a place where about 2/3 of our graduates already have the potential to reach the Big Three by the time they graduate, and we're just getting started.
Wow.
And so the fact that we already have that foundation there, I'm so excited to see what comes. And each year we get better and better, and our students are the ones who get to benefit, and our families get to benefit. So it's really exciting to just see the passion that Sam described, like that comes alive with students, as well as just the savings and the opportunities for kids.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much again for being here for this final episode of the lesson plan for this school year. Of course, we will be back again in August to hit the ground running. For now, to our listeners, if there are students out there, don't work too hard this summer. Enjoy it as well, because you'll be working the rest of your life. We can tell you that much. But thank you for listening, and have a great summer.